Sci-Fi Ninja Theater, where the action drop kicks you in the face, your ribs. We just kick your ass, we're so good. I'd like to thank the Mad Ninja Clan members, and also thank the great people from the Tampa area. The beautiful Nikoma DeMitro, aka Moonie the Starbabe, Josh from JV Designs, Ruben Romero, creator of the comic book The Agency, also the beautiful Cali Cosplay, aka Leah Pennell, all the beautiful ladies from Tampa that allowed us to film them, and a special shout out to Damian Bravo, editor-in-chief of Universe G, who covered the con for us. This is the Tampa Comic Con 2014, Sci-Fi Ninja Theater, where the action dragon kicks you in the neck. Damn, we're so good.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning here in Tampa, and we tried to get tickets yesterday because we kind of did this at the last minute, and we're here again today hoping that we can get in today. We probably will, but just, you know, I'm just trying to make this little video because I'm tired. And this is all I have to go through just to get here to do this Comic Con thing and get some media for you guys so you guys can enjoy the channel. So just to let you know, okay?
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater. I'm Nikoma DeMitro, also known as Moonie, from Moonie Productions, or Moonie and the Spider Queen. Welcome to our little sci-fi corner over here. On this side of the table we have our kids section. We have our Captain Cosmos, the movie, the book, the graphic novel, the comic book. We have our E-Man for superhero lovers, and this is our new addition to the family, Starbabe. She's a starbabe that can live in outer space and doesn't need any life support. She actually lives off radiation, something that we stay away from.
I'm Moonie, the titular character.
Moonie and the Spider Queen is about a little gal who can live in outer space without any life support.
That's me. People are always trying to catch me, but when they get close, I just hop on Rocky, my astrocycle, and zoom! Away I go! Moonie and the Spider Queen is a wonderful tribute to all the science fiction serials and movies that we grew up with, like Forbidden Planet, War of the Worlds, Flash Gordon, and Barbarella.
We finished the short movie episode.
And this is our adult side of the table for mom and dad. This is our Moonie the Starbabe collection. She's also a starbabe and she can live in outer space without any life support. And everybody's always trying to capture her to see how she does it. We have the movie, we have the graphic novel, we have all the books.
Oh, poo, Nikoma, you don't need all that. All you need is a camera to follow me around.
No, Moonie!
I'm not a starbabe. I can't live in outer space. I'm sorry.
To our new movies, Moonie and the Spider Queen, episode 1.
Okay.
Episode 2 and 3 will be out next year.
Hey, how would you guys like to see a little bit of the movie?
Thank you so much. Sci-Fi Ninja Theater. All right, take care.
You are watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Hello, Sci-Fi Ninja Theater fans. We're here in the Tampa Comic Con, and I'm about to talk to one of the artists that's showcasing his art here in the con.
Hi guys, I'm Josh with JV Designs. These are all my prints behind me. I do acrylic paintings, and I take them and turn them into high quality prints for everyone. I also do trading cards of my own style and comic book covers. I've been doing this for about a year and a half now. First time out in Tampa. I also have with me today is the beautiful Cali Cosplay, who's hanging out with me for a couple hours here and there throughout the day. I've done paintings of Poison Ivy of her and the Wonder Woman. And yeah, so if you want to zoom into some of my stuff, check it out.
How long have you been doing this now?
I've been doing art all my life. I've done more of a serious route about 3 years ago, and then I've been in the convention scenes for about a year and a half now.
So you only been a year, but what other conventions have you been in?
I've been at MegaCon, Ranger Stop, Cali Comic Con.
Man, too bad they don't. So too bad I missed the video.
What else?
They probably
I think that's most of the ones I've been to.
And from what area are you from? From what state?
I'm in from Longwood, Florida.
Oh, so you're a Floridian.
Yeah, well, I'm originally an Ohioan, but I moved down here about 7 years ago.
Let's talk about some of the stuff you've done here.
Yeah, these are. I started off with the beautiful Harley Quinn, who's one of my favorites, and this kicked off a series for the other Arkham girls, which one of them is featuring Cali Cosplay. I also have Hellboy, Spider-Man, Power Rangers, Hulk. I've done a whole Avengers series behind me. That debuted at MegaCon. It took about a year of work getting each canvas done. I've also done one of my brand new ones. I call it The Long Night. It's featuring Batman and 20 of his most famous villains. A couple of them are hidden in the shadows.
There's a special place in my heart.
I've also finished one of my most popular ones recently has been Rocket Raccoon versus Experiment 626. That was on a comic cover that I ended up turning into a print because it was so popular.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm Josh with JV Designs, and you're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Hello there, Sci-Fi Ninja fans. I'm here with Cali Cosplay. So how you doing there, Cali?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah. So how long you been doing cosplay now?
I've been cosplaying for about 3 years now.
Yeah. And how many cons have you been to so far?
Oh man, I've been to like 6 now. So.
Like 6 only?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what you know, so far doing this, and I know you make your own costumes.
I do.
You know, how long did it take you to make this one you're wearing?
This one, I had a friend helping me. We worked on this together. It took us a week.
A week? Wow, long time. So, what's your next? You're gonna be in another place or another con? You're soon coming up?
My next convention is C4 in Ventura Ventura, California. So look for me there, and I'll have a few new costumes ready too.
Yeah. Can you give us a hint on what they will be?
One has green hair.
Okay, so I see. Now, do you know that right now they picked Gal Gadot to play Wonder Woman? What do you think about that? Do you think that she fits the part?
You know, I was concerned with her physique at first and the fact that she's a model and she had only really done Fast and Furious before. So I was a little concerned with just the acting. I saw the picture and I really liked it. It's very Xena-ish. You know, I'm not gonna knock it until I see it. So
Okay.
I have faith that she'll be an awesome Wonder Woman. She looks amazing in the photo.
Well, you know, there's been a controversy about her, and they say there's better qualified actresses, or even, you know, support athletes like Gina Carano, Lucy Lawless. They could have picked her too. So what do you think about that? Do you think they could have been better?
I think they could have cast a little better and gotten someone like I think Henry Cavill is a really good cast for Superman, and I think Ben Affleck is a great cast for Batman, which I know there's been a lot of controversy about that. But with Gal, I think maybe it could have been cast better, but I don't want to make that judgment until I see her, because she could be awesome.
Okay.
So, and I hope she is.
Let me just back out a little bit. I'm gonna get a full.
Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
All right, University. I just found out where all the heroes and villains hang out here, but surprisingly, they seem to be very friendly and they're hanging out like nothing's going on. So I don't know how is this possible, but villains and heroes are sitting down nearby each other in tables. I'm about to show you right now. Here they go. So there you have it, something you don't see every day.
I'm watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
How's it going, guys? My name is Ruben Romero. I'm 1/3 of the creators of The Agency, brand new comic book series. The elevator pitch is Harry Potter meets Mission Impossible, minus the wands. The world has been overran by dark mage terrorist cells, so instead of sending the FBI or the CIA, we send the IAM, the International Agency of Magic. And our window into that world is a young boy named Riley Dean, a prodigal mage who accidentally discovers his magical capabilities trying to stop a robbery. So guys, check it out. We're on Comixology. You can search us The Agency. If not, look us up on Facebook, facebook.com/theagencycomicbook.
Now, who's the creator of the comic book?
It's three of us. It's myself, Ruben Romero, my brother, Roger Cabrera, and my wife, Bethany Suarez. Unfortunately, they're over there pitching our book, so can't get them over here. We got to keep busy.
Now, who does the art? Who's the writer?
All three of us are the writers. I essentially lay down the foundation, and we go back and forth and kind of switch stuff out back and forth. Our artist is Eric Coda. He was a resident Marvel artist, but Marvel changes their artists like we change socks, so we caught him on the way out and pitched him the book. He loved it, so he's been working with us ever since. Our colorist on the book is Ross Hughes. He actually works for Hi-Fi Studios, the coloring studio responsible for all of DC's books.
Now, since you were little, was this one of your dreams to create a comic book?
I've been writing since I was 8 years old. Fan fiction, Star Wars, Sequest, all kinds of stuff like that. As I got older, it transitioned into screenplays. Unfortunately, my imagination doesn't allow me to write indie movies. I can only write big budget movies. So we just decided to change the medium from screenplays to comic books.
So, when is it already out?
You can actually pick up issue 1 on Comixology June 4th. If not, you can catch us at any of the Florida conventions. We'll also be at New York Comic Con in October, debuting issue 2. But if you want to pick it up digitally, you can definitely search The Agency on Comixology.
So, are you going to be in other cons? You said you're going to be in New York. Is that the only place besides New York?
We're doing Tampa Bay. We got West Palm Beach coming up. We've got New York Comic Con. We've got Animate in November. And we're actually going to be doing Wizard World in January of next year out in New Orleans. So we're making our rounds. We're definitely trying to get the agency out to the whole entire world. You guys are watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Hey, hello Sci-Fi Ninja fans, right now we're in the first floor of the Tampa Bay Comic Con, and they're holding the costume contest to see who's going to be the winner today. And I'm going to show you some of the costumes here in a second. I'm going to walk through the line. This is the costume contest line, everybody. Excuse me. Awesome.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Sci-Fi Ninja fans, I have here one of the Yellow Rangers.
Yes.
One, because there's more than one.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but this is actually one of my favorite Rangers.
Yellow Rangers, go yellow.
And today we have her here, and I'm gonna ask her some nice questions.
Okay.
Now, Nakia,
Yes.
you ended the series. What have you been up to?
I have continued acting, doing a couple of commercials, some of the projects that I've done. If you check out my website, you can see even more that I've done. Voiceover commercials, television recurring series, and so forth.
How was it doing the series, and is there anything that you took from there and you applied it in your life in terms of your acting and your career?
Well, you know, Power Rangers was my very first television series. I was in college when it was when I booked the job. No one could have told me 20 years later that people would still remember my character and remember what some of the scenes I did and things that I don't even remember. It's a blast that I'm able to even come to conventions and still represent Tanya, the Yellow Ranger. So I could take a lot from the show. I learned a lot on the show. I made some really long-lasting friendships, and when we come to conventions like this, it's almost like a reunion. It's really cool.
What about the other guys that were with you in the show?
Yes.
Do you still stay in contact with them, or are they doing other things too? Or they're too busy to hang out?
No, Catherine and I are best friends. We speak every single day, pretty much. Well, at least several times a week. I was speaking to her yesterday. They're actually at a convention. Her, Karen, Austin, and a couple of the other Rangers are in a convention in Texas. But yeah, we all keep in contact. I was out with Steven and Jason Font yesterday. And actually, Jason Font wasn't even in the same series as I was, but we've become really, really good friends.
So what's next? Well, are you going to be in other cons, or is this for today?
I have another con, Ranger Stop, which is here, and it's kind of like a mini Power Ranger convention that's going to be in Orlando, November 7th through the 9th. And then I have the Power Morphicon in August. That's in Pasadena. And then I have some other shows that I'm still working on. And I'm creating my own show, my own web series comedy. That's soon to come out soon.
Can you give us a name?
I can't. It's called Class Dismissed.
Okay.
So you can look out for Class Dismissed. I'll be posting it on my Facebook page, Nakia.Burries, Nakia.Burries. My Instagram, at Nakia Burries, and Twitter, at Nakia Burries.
You have a lot of money.
It's not from Power Rangers, though. It's from other projects, but thank you.
There's a lot of Power Rangers stuff.
There's some Power Ranger things there, and
It's
there's a bit
more
up there.
time.
I should actually be recording this. Can I record him? Can you say that again for me?
No.
No? You can't do that now?
Mr. Character?
Can you say it's morphin time for me?
It's morphin time.
Wait. Okay, I'm ready now.
Voice.
It's morphin time.
I wasn't recording. Okay, now.
It's morphin time.
But you gotta say it louder than that. That ain't even loud. They say it's more.
It's morphin time!
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Now we're in the middle.
All right. You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
I'm Rhonda Shear, and she's the one and only Moonie. Did you know that? Hi.
I used to watch you all the time. How can I forget?
Yeah, oh, wow, thank you. I see all you youngins, and I'm like, how old were you all?
None of us ever went to bed.
We're up all night. I have to up all night. So, I got to work with a lot of celebrities that I interviewed through the years, too, so that was kind of cool. Up All Night was based on all the blondes like Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield and all those women that I love. And we talked about, okay, so I got in trouble for going to see a film called Barbarella, and you remember Barbarella? So I got in trouble because when I saw that, my parents were really mad at me. And so Barbarella and little orphan, what was her name?
Little Annie Fanny.
Little Annie Fanny and Playboy to meet. Those are the two, that's what makes that Moonie's based on, and you are that. Come on up, come on up, come on up. These guys are my producers. Obviously, they're not paying attention. And they've been downloading all of my old all nights to YouTube, which you guys, I have my YouTube channel on Rhonda Shear on YouTube. Please go like it and follow it. And so you'll see a lot of really interesting episodes, and apparently they download in their sleep because they don't know anything that's on them. And there's classic people, like, what was the girl that played Behind the Green Door? She before, I know she's no longer with us. Marilyn
You got
Chambers,
Jeff
she was on there.
Okay, that clip
You
with
didn't
Jeff
see
Probst?
Yes.
You got Jeff Probst, the guy from Heroes?
No, from Survivor, yeah.
Because I was brunette back then. And I said, well, I can easily put on a blonde wig. He goes, no, just report to the set tomorrow, or whenever it was, a week later, and I will find some dialogue for you. I like your look, and I like your look as a brunette, and I'll find it. But I'm like, I don't want to be the waitress. But he was really cool. And that scene took all day. And even watching that scene back then with the little monster on a track was even gross to watch. It was like even it was cool to meet John Candy, of course. And, yeah, this is so sad. But Bill Pullman was very cool. It took John Candy 8 hours to get into that costume back then.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Me or them?
You! I know they are because they're in Tampa Con.
I am having a good day. It's so awesome. Yeah, I'm having a great day. I just got here. I mean, sort of. I got here last night, but then I slept in and came straight here.
I feel more jealousy right now than I've ever felt.
Why? Because you got up early?
You slept
She
in.
was the one that was late to this, not me.
I'm saying, I was just hosting Daniel Cudmore, so...
That ran. Oh, I see. Now I know why you were late.
My priorities are out of whack.
No good.
I just want to point out to you guys, we have some mics in all the center aisles. If you have questions at any time, feel free to line up and just take a knee, and then either I or Pedro will acknowledge you, and then you can stand up and have at it. Real quick, obviously everyone's interested. Game of Thrones, just what's it like? What's the set like? How is it working with the mountain? How is the,
That was the squishing of my eyeballs.
Yeah, it was a real hard.
The squishing of my eyeballs was actually like the best part because that fight with the mountain was shot in 4 days. And it's like, what, like an 8-minute scene?
Yeah.
And I know, they shot it for 4 days and we were in an arena of a bombed out hotel in Dubrovnik and it was September, but it was really, really hot. The sky was totally clear and the sun was blazing. And despite being in agile leather armor, it was really quite cumbersome. It was a very tight, it was like I found out what it was like to wear a corset. And I was like, I can't believe they put up with this shit. Oh my God. And it was like, chain link. It was very thick fabrics for it to look as good as it does because Michelle Clapton, the costume designer, she's a genius. And, but we were really hot.
Was it really heavy?
It was, I mean, I really shouldn't be complaining because Hapthor, who played the Mountain, was in, he had layer upon layer, and then the final layer were these they may as well have been bricks,
Jeez.
that were chain linked together all over. It was, and they just made the loudest noise. And the poor guy, I mean, at a certain point, because there was so much that they wanted to get shot, and he would push himself so far, and then it would just get to the point where he was just like, "Automator off." And they were like, "Well, you just have one more. Automator off." got to the squishing of the eyeballs, I got to lay on my back. And it was at the end of the whole shoot, and they put all of these, they had that big aerial shot where you see my head squished in and the blood is just pooling.
Yeah.
You're dressed up as George R.R. Martin.
Thanks a lot.
I've gotten so used to seeing and being around George, and I was just like, peripherally, I was like, oh, George is here.
He's a very good George.
No, George is not here. But he is. Anyway, I was laying on my back, and they put all of these like pieces of like fake flesh and blood, all this stuff all over my face, and it was really kind of cool. Like the material of it was like, the temperature of it was cool, so I was so comforting, I passed out.
While they were shooting you?
Yeah, while they were shooting, I was totally asleep. They're like, sorry, Pedro, I'm sorry, it's just a couple more minutes. I'm like this. I was like, this shot can take as long as you want.
Yeah, if you're dead, then you're probably helping.
Yeah, and sleeping and happy.
Do you have some questions?
I've been seeing you all day.
Of course you haven't seen me all day.
No, I've been seeing you all day.
I know. I went and got my picture, my autograph, and everything. So my question is, what was it like to get yourself into the emotional state for that final scene, being that there was so much emotion going on with your sister, obviously?
Yeah.
And then what was the choreograph like?
That's a good question. I was really, I think, more afraid of not being able to arrive to the emotional climax that the character achieves before his demise. Because I knew that as far as Oberyn's story arc was concerned, that was the most important aspect of his entire story for the readers and for everyone watching. And so I understood the value of it, and I was really, so nervous. And we got it. Like, there was this one take, that, and because we also had to do it in bits, you know what I mean? And so it'd get to the point where I was like, and I had to keep like stabbing him over and over and like scream my head off to just kind of like arrive to the emotion and then like pull the spear and then start monologuing and, and then get my head squished.
Yeah.
But this is a testament to the post-production team of Game of Thrones, which is, probably the best in the business, not just television, but period. Because there was like a squeak in the leather of my costume for the fight, and there was so much dialogue. I basically had to do the entire thing over again in ADR. I had to like with a mic and record and like find the emotion again.
The whole scene.
The entire from start to finish. The start to finish, and you would never know because they're geniuses. They're so incredible with sound, and I think they ended up mixing everything that they could from the actual day to what we recorded in a sound booth, and then them giving me the room to actually find it again, but this time in an air-conditioned sound booth. And you're welcome.
Since that came out. It's such a good comparison.
Who wouldn't like being compared to Nikoma?
He's the best.
He's the greatest. I mean, obviously George R.R. Martin was inspired by that character from The Princess Bride. What side?
Any old side.
Hello.
So excited.
First of all, you were great as Oberyn Martell. You're my favorite. You played my second favorite show character, and you were.
Oh, who's first?
Brienne.
I'll give that to you.
You were awesome, but if you could play another character, who would you play?
On Game of Thrones?
Who would you like to play?
Good question.
That is a good question. It's a hard question because I love the show too. I was watching it like a regular fan before I ever got an audition for it. And
what about Roz? What about a prostitute?
Dario?
Dario's a hottie, and
He was voted hottest Game of Thrones character.
Oh, come on.
Because he's missing
Mikhail
quite a
Huisman is
bit.
awesome.
But you're so much hotter.
Oh, thank you.
Dario's a suck-up. You do what you want.
No, Dario's great. Mikhail Huisman is a friend of mine, and he's awesome. The person that I don't know, I think that I think Arya is like the most incredible character in the world, and even though I'm not a young girl,
You would make a good Arya.
thank you very much. I think it's somewhere in here in my soul. My spirit animal is a teenage girl.
Over there?
Hi. I don't have my glasses on, so
Can you,
I left them in
give a
California.
little background on your new character in the Pablo Escobar series?
That's a little, you just made me nervous because they just sent me an email saying, you can only discuss such and such. And I was like, I can't remember what that is. So I'm just trying to remember what has been published already. The series is about, well, no, I am not playing Pablo Escobar. I'm actually playing an actual DEA agent named Javier Peña, who grew up in the States and went down to Javier Peña. And he actually went down to Colombia, and he was heading a U.S. mission to capture or kill Pablo Escobar. It was a mission that took place after Pablo Escobar became enemy of the state. And I think that's all I can say.
I'll take it. Well, if you were going to say a line, maybe with a Spanish accent per se. Any old line, anything. Yeah, Gettysburg Address, whatever you want. Anything.
Anything. Give me a second. The Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts.
She just went bananas.
George.
Yes, George.
Hello.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, it's okay. He's already dead. I have nothing to worry from him.
Oh, cut that.
Touché. Oh, Bruce was great. Yeah, he was awesome.
Okay. And then the other question that I have is, if you could choose any character for me to kill from Game of Thrones, who would you pick?
None. Leave them alone.
Finally, somebody makes sense.
Let your children live. Joffrey's dead. And then I met Jack, and he's the greatest.
What about Cersei? Yeah, Cersei.
Don't you kill Cersei.
Why?
Poor Cersei.
Poor Cersei! Arya loves her too. Maisie.
I love Cersei.
Yeah, Maisie said she was really, it's her favorite, and she wants her to keep going. Why do you want her to stick around?
I think that I think one, Lena Headey gives such an amazing performance.
Oh, for sure.
And she brings so many different layers to it. It's a fascinating character. Like she can be the most terrifying, and yet at the same time, the humanity sort of peeks through. And at the end of the day, she's really a mother protecting her own, you know. And trying to survive as a woman in that environment as well, in that family, it can't be easy. Yeah. Did I answer your questions, George? Bruce was great. Bruce Campbell was awesome. He was so fun. And yeah, no, don't kill any more people.
Questions?
Questions into that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
When your face got smashed in, what were the teeth made out of?
The teeth. I don't know what they were made out of exactly. Well, I think they just tossed these fake teeth across the pavement. I don't even know if I was there for that. It just sort of like, you know, like dice. And, but they did make a cast of, you know, they did a cast of my head from the shoulders up. They did a cast of my face with my expression contorted in agony. And then they did my teeth as well, and they like, you know, they had this really disgusting, like, false, like, teeth that was, like, so many of them were, like, knocked out and already, like, bursting with, like, swelling and, like, blood and all this stuff. So those are the different ways, and I don't know what the actual teeth were made out of.
Okay. Okay, and is there some kind of disconnect when you have memories of your things on set, what you do on set and every day, and then you watch yourself in the episode? Is there any kind of disconnect? You're like, oh, I don't remember that, or oh wow, that looks so good, I thought I was doing it wrong or something.
I would say that there were definitely a few moments in watching the series that these kind of pinch me moments that I had, a scene that I thought that I had screwed up and somehow they found, I don't know, picked like the good take. And it wasn't until later that I got to see how beautifully, like, the shots were angled and the way that they told the story. I felt very loved by the directors. I was like, oh wow, they make me look good. You know? So,
thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Hi.
Hey, big fan.
Thank you.
You said that you were a fan before you got the role.
Yeah.
When you got the role, did you know the fate of your character? Like, did you read the
I did know the fate of the character because it was in the description of the character for the audition. I mean, it didn't say how he died, but it did say that he did die. It said that he had like this, like he cuts a swath through the 4th season and then dies valiantly. It was like valiantly.
Oh, you die valiantly.
Yeah.
In the show?
So the creators of the show, when they flew me out to Belfast to meet them, they told me, and I was like, really? I was like, head squish? That's disgusting. So, but I did know, yeah, before I went out to shoot, because they have all 10 episodes written before the first day of production, so it's like going and shooting like a 10-hour movie almost, you know? So you really can start anywhere in your storyline. Depends on how the whole season is mapped because of location and actor schedules and stuff like that. So my first day was actually the scene, the cell scene with Peter towards the end of my story arc. And then we went back to the beginning of the season and shot like the orgy in the brothel, and then the trial or the scene with Varys, and then we went off to Croatia and strolled through the park with Lena Headey and like the wedding and then the death, and so it was like all over the place.
And if you could give like a piece of advice to your character before you got a sex smash, what would it be?
Just get it done.
Maybe this is a rude question, but what's it like shooting an orgy scene? We're all curious. Let's not kid ourselves.
It was fun.
Enough said. Question?
Hello?
Hi.
My question is, on Game of Thrones, you're one of the only characters that uses a spear.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty awesome. Like, how much weapon training did you had to do like a lot of training for the combat scene?
I did. That was the hardest thing for me because I'd done like fight choreography before, but more like hand-to-hand combat and stuff. And I'd never used a sword, and I'd never used a spear that was like 7 feet tall. basically with the blade. So that was the most challenging part when they put me in training with a master of wushu in Los Angeles for a couple of weeks before I went to Europe to start shooting. He gave me a big, you know, like we would train with like a bamboo stick. And then I went to Home Depot and bought a curtain rod. And I started practicing in my apartment. And I kept on like hitting myself and furniture and walls and stuff like that because I was too shy to go outside and do it, like in the alleyway or in a park or something.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
That face has to be protected at all costs. They finally put the helmet on. You're down there like that, and you have to swing, and you're swinging the real axe, and you're going, yeah.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Well, I've got an 8-year-old daughter, you see, so anything that interests me uses children. I have to do anyway. All I can say is this once upon a time thing that I've got to be very careful here. I mustn't give away the plot or anything. All I can say is it looks wonderful. The casting is glorious. The colours, the real back, it's fabulous stuff. And I don't see everything I do, but I'm going to make it my business to look at that. I think it's going to be really, really good. Yes, some of the best writing is for comic strips and things like gargoyles.
Oh,
yes. That whole storyline that they gave for Macbeth was absolutely, it was closer to Scottish history than Shakespeare was when you wrote Macbeth. Absolutely wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. So yes, I will, and it is really hard, it is really, really hard to fight in those positions when you're on your knees. Or, let me show you what happens when you try to fight when you're on your knees. Instead, you've just spent 8 hours in makeup. That face has to be protected at all costs. They finally put the helmet on. You're down there like that, and you have to swing, and you're swinging the real axe, and you go, yeah. So the next trick is to cut a hole in the stage so you can stand up, and they film you above the waistline, which it works better. But there is a time when you've got to sort of plunge into the day, and you're carrying 80 pounds of armor and axes and boots and helmet, chainmail, and you do get tired, and all of us did it. I mean, somebody knocked one of Vigo's teeth out. It was very brave. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, when you've been doing it, you know, our days are 12 hours on minimum, and they often go on. We generally work a 5-day week, but frequently it's a 6-day week. And you know, bodies get tired. The one thing that you do not, let me advise all those young would-be filmmakers here, the one thing you do not want to do is direct professional athletes in a football film or something like that. Professional athlete is accustomed, footballer is accustomed to working flat out for an hour and 50 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes. And in that time, they will go flat out. But they can't pace themselves over a 12-hour day and a 5 or 6 day week, because they're like racehorses. They're, you know, it's either stand still or it's flat out. And they get, you know, after 4 or 5 hours, they start getting really tired. And after 8 hours, they're pretty much exhausted. And once they're exhausted, that's when the accidents start happening. And you can see, I did a film 3 years ago.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
That's right, sci-fi-ninja-theater.com, sci-fi-ninja-theater@hotmail.com if you want to email us. It feels so good. Sci-Fi Ninja Theater, so good it hurts. Don't you wish you were at Comic Con? Mamma mia, it feels so good.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Thank you, perfect.
I'm Madeline and I'm Molotov cocktails.
Great time! Can I get a hug before I die? Woo. Oh my gosh. It's all for you guys. None of this is for me. It's for you, the fans.
Hey, he's sad. It's a great personal sacrifice.
I'm doing it for you.
Ninja Theater. Watch Vinny's show.
Hi, Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
You're watching Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Hey, hi folks. How you doing? I'm Chris from the Big Apple Conventions.
Sci-Fi Ninja Theater.
Ninja Theater at hotmail.com. Hope you enjoyed it. Later.